Up off, Mitt? Up off? What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the Adult. It's New Year's Eve, baby. All right, man, look. Terence Crawford, why he should take on Shawn Porter. Oops! All right, man, look. You guys, I'm still under the weather. My nose red looking like Rudolph. Oh my God. Let's get to the video. I made a video not that long ago asking if Terence Crawford was ducking Shawn Porter. And I read the comments. So I think that this video is appropriate. Big ass coffee. Look. I think the best way to approach this video is to tackle some of the bigger questions, right, that I saw in the comments of my last video. And that is Shawn Porter. We're going to talk about him coming off a loss. Why does he deserve a title shot coming off of a loss? We're going to also talk about their friendship. We're going to talk about, if you're a Terence Crawford fan, why you should want that fight. And finally, we're going to discuss Shawn Porter. Is he calling out Terence Crawford? Big ass coffee. Oh my God, warm in the throat. I'll be fine soon, don't worry. Half a cream, quarter sugar. All right, man, look. Let's get to the video. Terence Crawford, why he should take on Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter coming off of a loss against Errol Spence, losing his WBC title. Why should Terence Crawford fight him, give him a chance at his WBO title? Has that happened before? Certainly. It happened with Zab Super Judah. Zab Super Judah took on Floyd Mayweather for his IBF title after taking a loss against Carlos Baldomir. I know you guys remember that. But many of you may say, well, that Floyd Mayweather and Zab Judah fight was already made. So win, lose, or draw against Carlos Baldomir, he was going to have that fight against Floyd Mayweather. Okay, point taken. How about Oscar De La Hoya? Oscar De La Hoya, him losing against Bernard Hopkins. And then he took on Mayorga after that for Mayorga's title in super middleweight. Now, I know many of you may say, well, that's Oscar De La Hoya. It's a huge name. Plus, it was two different weight divisions. Okay, but don't forget, I've given two. Here's another example. Andrew Galata, heavyweight. Now, Andrew Galata, big name? No. I can argue that Shawn Porter, after that fight with Errol Spence, his name's bigger than Andrew Galata's was. Andrew Galata, he took on Chris Bird for his IBF title, had a draw. After that, he took on John Ruiz for his WBA title, lost. Then after that, he had another title fight. Coming off a draw and a loss, he fought Lamont Brewster for his WBO title and lost. So you can come off a loss and have a fight for the title. Shawn Porter coming off a loss, a big mega fight of the year candidate. He deserves a title shot still, even though he came off a loss. I just gave you 3 examples where guys have done that, and I'm sure there's many more, but I've given you 3. Let's talk about those two guys being friends. Terence Crawford, Shawn Porter being friends. Have you ever seen friends fight before? Certainly. Sugar Shane Mosley and Oscar De La Hoya, they were the best of friends. Even today, they're business partners in Golden Boy. They fought each other to 2 slugfests, even after the first one, when they just were punching away at each other in that 12 and finally remember the last seconds, fireworks. Afterwards, they even hugged each other, those guys friends, and they did not hold back. They both wanted to be victorious that night, and afterwards, their friendship stayed. How about Errol Spence and Shawn Porter? You know what? I need to add a clip, a link to a video that I'm talking about here. Errol Spence had his arm around Shawn Porter. I think it was, I forget who it was, but I'll find that clip and I'll put it in the description box below. Errol Spence had his arm around Shawn Porter. They're best of friends, and they're saying they're going to fight each other soon. They have to fight each other. It must happen. So friendships, we've seen friends fight before, Errol Spence and Shawn Porter. Hey, they fought each other, and leading up to the fight in the press conference, they had a lot to say about each other. When Errol Spence got into his car accident, Shawn Porter, he was concerned. It's not like he saw Errol Spence as his enemy. Now let's talk to the Terence Bud Crawford fans. Why you should want the fight. Let me tell you something about Terence Bud Crawford. Magnificent fighter, mean fighter. He's not afraid of anybody. But Terence Bud Crawford, the way his welterweight career is going, he needs a fight like Shawn Porter, a fight with a guy like Shawn Porter. It has to be Errol Spence. It has to be Shawn Porter. It has to be Manny Pacquiao. It got to be one of those boys next. Because if it's not one of those boys, I promise you, the boxing fan base is going to give his next fight a huge eye roll. We're done with Terence Crawford, his opponents, him going into the fight, knowing that he's going to beat the guy. It's like watching a movie and you know the ending already. That is never exciting. Let me tell you something. Terence Crawford, if he doesn't fight one of those boys, Danny Garcia, one of those boys, no matter who he fights, let's say Ugas or Lipinets, it's going to be an eye roll. He's going to be a favorite, and we're tired of seeing those. Another reason why, if you are a fan of Terence Crawford, if you want people to see him in the light that you see him, he needs to take on guys that people are begging him to challenge. And it's not his fault. It's not totally his fault. But in this case with Shawn Porter, he said he's not interested. Here's why he should be interested. You already know if Terence Crawford and Bud and Shawn Porter had that type of fight, that fight coming up, win, lose, or draw, people would give Terence Crawford the type of credit that he deserves. Win, lose, or draw. We're learning that now. In a loss, people won't throw you away as quickly as they did before if you take on a huge challenge. Let me tell you something about Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter and why you should want that fight. The fight would be entertaining. As boxing fans, we should be concerned as boxing fans first, how we would be entertained by the fight. Not so much so trying to save and protect a fighter that doesn't even know we exist. We win if Shawn Porter take on Terence Crawford. Finally, we're going to talk about this. Shawn Porter, has he called out Terence Crawford? No. He hasn't called out Terence Crawford, and that's a concern. But Kenny Porter and Shawn Porter, they both said that they would fight Terence Crawford. They would fight him. Terence Crawford is kind of saying the same thing. If it doesn't make sense, I'm not going to fight him. If it does, I'll fight him. And I think what Terence Crawford is saying here, just to conclude this, is I think he's waiting on Pacquiao or Errol Spence, to be honest. And that I can understand. I could understand if he's trying to wait. And if that fight doesn't materialize, I guess it's Shawn Porter. We got to fight each other. Shawn Porter doesn't look like he's in any hurry to take on Terence Crawford, and that's a shame. But this is an argument. This video is an argument on why they should fight. Are they going to fight? I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what, they should. ShowBizz, the dope. Oh, man, I got through that sweating. I got a cold, man. I'm going to relax for the rest of the day. I'm getting better, you know what I'm saying, drinking the hot coffee and doing those things and drinking the thorough flu, and I'm getting better. The tea, the honey in the tea, and all you guys, show business partners that's trying to give me their home remedies on how to get better. Thank you very much because I'm doing those things. I'm out.